Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on June the 10th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of Thursday, the news here, lots of news. The biggest one here would be the monetary policy statement. So we heard from Bank of Canada, and Bank of Canada basically maintained everything. They are looking at a robust recovery in the economy. And as such, so basically the forward guidance is that monetary policy will get tightened, but right now they're not changing anything. For euro here, for ECB, now they haven't done that yet. So we have seen several central banks now starting to talk about tightening the monetary policy. If ECB does the same thing, if they talk about tightening it, they're not at or anywhere near increasing or raising the rates. But if they start providing forward guidance in terms of tightening it, that will be good for euro. So that's what we'll have to keep in mind. First, we have monetary policy statement and then the press conference. And this is where things can get, usually we see first reaction when the statement comes out. And then during the press conference, as the questions are asked, price can be quite volatile. So just bear that in mind. Other than that, we have CPI numbers here for the US as well. So CPI numbers for the month here. CPI numbers are usually important. Basically, so it would be right now, it's not bad. So the concern is around the inflation. If the numbers are in line here with expectations, then it will be okay. But if the CPI numbers start to go up, that will be positive for the US dollar, because that would mean that the Fed would have to start thinking about tightening the monetary policy, which is always good for currency. So that's where that relationship will be. Other than that, we do have unemployment claim numbers here from the US, and then the bond auction later on, but that is it in terms of our news. So let's move on to the charts now. We'll start off with euro dollar here. So we saw euro went into the resistance at 1.2280 level here. And this is where we have, now we have a big pin bar there, which means price has rejected that higher level. And that usually means that we're likely to see a drop. Having said that, the concern would be around the ECB. If ECB talks about tightening monetary policy, euro is likely to go up. So watch out. So keep that in mind. But from technical perspective, I would be looking for a drop. So either we can get a pullback all the way into 1.22 or slightly lower into 1.2185. So a little bit lower here. Those are the two levels I would watch out for a pullback, and then looking for a drop here. So bias here is bearish, and target, the first target is 1.2150 and then 1.2100. So bearish bias for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, pound went into the resistance, and then as we can see, it dropped from there. We're back into the range. Now we have a nice bearish engulfing candle here. So with this, bias is bearish. Keep in mind though, we are so close to the support level here. Last time price was into support, it turned around. The time before that came into support and bounced off. So concern would be this: it could come into the support and then bounce off of that. So watch out for that. But once we see a drop through here, then we could get a nice drop to the downside. So the first target is 1.40 and then potentially 1.3920. So bias is bearish for pound, and just be cautious at 1.4085. Aussie here, Aussie held below the resistance here. As we can see, we have a nice pin bar, which means we're likely to see a drop here. I would expect a move lower here. So in this case, first target is 0.7675, And then second target 0.7645. So bearish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar, we were looking for a drop. We did get that. And then now still looking for a further move to the downside. Not much of a move, very, very small moves here, but nonetheless bearish, looking bearish still. So 0.7150 and 0.7125, those are the two levels for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here. So dollar CAD moved in both directions. And then we have this rejection. So now looking for price to move higher towards 1.2145 and potentially into 1.2200. All right, let's take a look at our commodities. Starting off with silver. Silver not doing a whole lot here for last 3 days or last 4 days, really. It's just gone sideways here. Now, there is some bullishness in this candle, but we also have a pin on top, which shows rejection. So bias is neutral. We will look for a retest of the high. And if it doesn't go through, we are back again. So neutral bias here for silver, looking for a move towards 28, and only if it goes through that, then we'll target the next level. Otherwise, we are looking for a range bound move here again. In terms of our gold here, gold hasn't done a whole lot either. We do have a bearish candle close, so I will look for a move lower towards 1880. And then below that, we have 1870 level, so bearish bias for gold. Oil here, oil looking slightly bearish. It went into that, didn't quite make it to 71, went into 70.50, and now we have a little, all the candles are very small here, so there's no true direction here. It's just kind of going back and forth. So because it shows rejection here, we will look for a move lower here towards 80.30. So I'm looking for a bit of a drop. So bearish bias here for oil. For copper here, on the daily, as we can see, it's stuck sideways. Now couldn't go through the resistance, and now we're just sideways here. So right now, I am expecting a sideways move from this one as well. Not a lot of movement. Many of the things here are stuck. So this is what I'm expecting. Basically a move between 4.52 and 4.42. So neutral bias for copper as well. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin showing, finally showing some bullishness here. So we are back now, nice bullish engulfing candle close, so nice solid candle. I'm looking for a move higher here. In this case, the first target is 38,160 and then 39,500. So bullish bias here for Bitcoin. S&P 500, this one is completely stuck here in just this very, very narrow range. It hasn't been able to go through the resistance. And with this one here, we could see a drop. So watch out for this type of a move into 41.50 level. So neutral bias right now. Nasdaq here, Nasdaq looking a little bearish. As we can see, price went and tested the high. We have a doji here, which means we could see a drop back down, and 13,730 is the level we are looking for here. Potentially even 13,650. So bearish bias here for Nasdaq. And then Dow Jones here, this one looking a little bearish. It's still in a range. We do have a bearish candle close, so still looking for that continuation lower here. Next target is 34,300, so bearish bias for Dow Jones. DAX here, as expected, it dropped towards 15,500. Now, it's still neutral here. It has a bit of bearishness in it, not completely bearish here, so it may go up a bit. So we may see something like this, and it may become sideways here. So bias right now is neutral to slightly bearish here for DAX. With FTSE here, FTSE also caught in a very narrow range. So it's been going back and forth here. Doesn't really have a true direction. With the rejection here, we may see a move back up, but I am expecting a range bound move here. Again, no clear direction for this one either. And then Nikkei here. Nikkei, we were looking for a drop yesterday. We got that. Again, very, very small move. So still looking for a continuation lower here. 28,500 is the next target. So bias is bearish here for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.